In a world like none other, there comes one man in search of plastic, in search of cons. He is known as Plasticon. Join him as he brings toys from another dimension to a household near you.
Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover little Micromen figures and other little tiny 1-inch men that I have in my collection. First thing we're going to look at is, you guys probably recognize this huge knockoff GOTS blocker here I've got in the background. I had several of these several years back. I only have the one anymore because I decided to part ways with the other ones for other collectors to have. But this guy, you can kind of find him on eBay every now and then. He is really becoming more of a rarity now, which is kind of crazy. But here's the cool thing. He actually came with 3 of these little Diaclone dudes. These little Diaclone guys, if you guys don't know the history of Diaclone, these are 1-inch men that actually would fit inside your larger Transformers or mech suit types of things. So, take a little closer look at these. But yes, these are here, the ones I'm talking about. These little guys right here. This is the 4 variety that actually came out in the set. You would get a combination of 3 of these in kind of any arrangement. So I have several of these little guys. I hung on to them because I absolutely love these little 1-inch men. These things are amazing and they work so well for any type of diorama or anything like that that I try doing, because I like tinier robots. These guys actually fit in just fine with that. They do fit into, like, say, your Grimlock or your Dinobots or any of those. Take a look at these guys here first before I show you the other ones I have. But they're very cool. They have these little painted feet. These are not actually magnets. The original ones would actually have little magnets, but that's okay. I think it's kind of cool that they actually tried to invoke magnets on these when they didn't actually exist on these, because these were just molded from the original toys. I'm assuming whoever did the whole remolding of this as a knockoff did not use the magnets. They just decided to just mold the magnet in with the rest of the foot, and that is why these are kind of tall. Now, one thing I did notice about these is these tend to be a little too long. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet because I really don't want to, but I thought about shaving off a little bit of the bottom of these to make these actually fit a little better in my Diaclone vehicles. But to be honest, they populate everything just fine. But as you can see, this one's modeled in red and yellow and black. And you can see he's got kind of his waist piece, there's a little bit painted, a little bit of paint there on his face. The center of these guys would actually be a die-cast metal, and the rest of them would be plastic. If you get these are very, 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 they're kind of stiff, but that's okay, because I mean the original ones weren't that articulated either. You really only got like a bit of an arm movement on them, and then some leg movement. So how you can set them down in the vehicle. And I've actually handled the original ones before. They're very cool. But I actually prefer these because, yes, they're a knockoff. I do like the bright colors on these versus the duller colors, because these kind of fit in with my G2 aesthetic stuff that I have. Let's take a look at the yellow one that I have here. It's got all the yellow and then like the red kind of centerpiece. Like I said, waist piece is painted, head's painted. and feet are painted. These are very tiny though. If you guys didn't notice, they are extremely small, which is really, really cool. I do like the size of these. And then it came in this variety here, where he has a red torso, black arms, and yellow legs with the black feet painted. And it's not bad. The detail is not terrible on these also. Let you guys take a look at the back of them as well. Very, very well done. I actually do not mind these. If you guys can ever find this GOTS blocker with these little dudes, pick it up. It really is a treat. This one here is a little loose, probably because I've used this one quite a bit in several of my little dioramas. This one actually has the red pants, yellow chest, and black arms. Now I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, you got several of these. Have you like to try to mix and match them and stuff like that and make them even better? No, I have not. I don't want to risk trying to pull these parts off because the posts are very small, and I really don't want to risk damaging that. Now, I haven't really had any issues with these throughout the years, but I actually take very, very good care of these things, so these tend to stay put away in a little case that I have. But that is the 4 little Diaclone guys I have. The other ones I have, which you guys have probably seen in some of my dioramas online, and I cannot seem to find the packaging that I had these guys in at one time. But here is Sparkplug. These were made by Impossible Toys years ago. The helmet does come off, but I don't really want to try to move that. He does have arm articulation, which is kind of, because these are a little more of a rubbery type of material, so it's kind of hard to do. And he does have leg articulation. He can bend at the legs. But I don't tend to really do that much with these because these guys make really, really good pieces just to match in with the rest of my Diaclone crew. And here's Spike, which a lot of you guys probably are very familiar with if you're a Transformers fan. It's very little. It's so tiny, it really is. It's so small, which is cool. I really like these. The sculpting on these is actually pretty good too. I know some people out there complained about the qualities back then, but back then there were a lot of them wanting these from Masterpiece, so they wanted them to be a little larger. These are actually perfect because they will fit in like Wheeljack I have sitting back here, or even the Diaclone GOTS blocker. Another little guy I have several of these little dudes, and these are Capsia figures. These have the same articulation that the Diaclone guys do, and they're a little bigger, but the crazy thing is the way his legs are made kind of reminds me of kind of a digitigrade type of thing. So I decided, instead of leaving these completely clear, because they're clear and they have like a little head inside there, like supposed to be a human's head, and honestly it's just an unpainted blob. It just doesn't look great. So I decided to make them look more space age, so I use these guys as my Wateros Diaclone guys, because it's getting harder and harder nowadays to find these guys. But I think they scale just fine because they are a little taller. If you guys aren't really familiar with Wateros is supposed to be these bug alien dudes, and personally I think this works really well because they're taller, they're a little more menacing, and honestly my Insecticons I have are a little slightly oversized, so these guys fit just fine in my slightly oversized Insecticons that I have, and that's just, it works very, very well for that. But I wanted to show you guys just some little Diaclone guys that I've had these for many, many, many years, and I find these very authentic and awesome. Yes, these 4 here might be knockoffs, but guess what? Try to find even the original ones. If you look on eBay, you're going to probably pay pretty close to $100 just for one of these little dudes. If you guys find these knockoff ones out there, snag them up. They're really, really worth it. I do have a friend of mine though that is actually doing some recasts of literally this same one. which is kind of funny. He is actually selling little boogers for like 25 bucks a piece, which isn't bad considering these things usually go for like $100. He's done like a recast, and he has put magnetic feet, and he is doing a die-cast chest on them too, so they are kind of a one-to-one reproduction of this particular Diaclone driver. They're very cool. I think they're amazing, and you guys should really check out this kind of stuff, because this kind of stuff is what really draws in the scaling for Transformers. I personally think I'm a big fan of like the tinier Transformers, but these actually fit in just fine with my tinier Transformers, because these fit in with my Pretender dudes and all the other stuff that I happen to have. But anyway, this was a quick look at some little guys that I have to show you guys the cool little 1-inch men that exist out there in the world, so you can populate your Transformers bases and stuff with things other than oversized robots that take everything over. This has been Plasticon, and this is me signing off. Peace out, y'all. See you around. Bye.